Hello, one and all. Good to see you. Hello, Grandma Evie. Hello, five Spartans. Five Spartans, not much, but we'll talk about what there is on the bond side. Some interesting pieces. Nothing you can spend yet, but some interesting pieces because of their expectations. Hello, Eagle Claw. Hello, MJ. Hello, Mr. Havlet, Rum Doctor. Hello, TA, Guitar Crazy Tom. Hello, Tinkerbell. Hoops, what's the weather like where you're at? Hello, Wings Girl. Oh boy, it's running now. Let's see, with ICE, TSA, Iran, etc. Lots going on. Great coverage. Great cover for it, right? It'd be a great time to drop it. Nobody be paying attention but us. And we're the only ones paying attention anyway. Hey, Ray. I don't have any fun new pictures of the grandnieces. Hey, Mom, send pictures. Silicone Queen, good to see you. Gas tank felt okay. I'm afraid to ask on some of these questions. The craziest things happen. Did I see someone turn 71? I'm looking, but it is. I think that one is gone into the nether sphere. Oh, it's 71 degrees in Georgia. Danny, I see it. Thought it was a birthday. Raining today in Abu Dhabi. First rain of the year. Rainy season. Jafreezy. My daughter Lucy got a bit of a sun tan yesterday, so it must have been warm in the Carolinas. Guardian Morgan's tomorrow, the 24th of March, is the day they revalued in Kuwait. Ripping. Yeah, let's get it done before your birthday. So that's where the odds are right now. We're gonna go through all the pieces, parts. 36 in Taos Ski Valley. I see that one. $4 a gallon in Central PA. No updates on Grumpy's daughter. No updates on Grumpy's daughter yet. Hopefully, some of the family will get in and give us an update. Caribou, Maine, 28 degrees. Woo! Canadian pilot crashed in New York. Yeah, unfortunately, it appears from what I'm hearing, a traffic controller gave him a bad direction and devastated just simply human error. And that's one of the biggest problems with our air traffic system. It's tech that is 60 years old, pretty much. That's the reason it's in the middle of a upfit. Who's buying the paper? They're unloading the paper. Just lower and lower. It's not, how do I put that? When they're unloading it, so the price is going down, there's more supply than there is demand for the paper. Meanwhile, the physical is staying way up there and central banks are buying. This is the unwind we all knew was going to happen. This is the exact moment where paper dies. We've all been looking for this. We should all be excited about it. But when you are looking at short term, it's tough to look at it that way because it's telling you exactly what's going on with the long term. The suppression's dying. So what happens? Because there's more demand than there is actual supply. So after this paper unwinds, and you have a dual effect going on right now because you have some nations, because of the limited Gulf nations specifically, because they have a limited oil prices way up, but they can't get it to the market. So it's just potential. It's not there. So what are a lot of these having to do right now in the short term? Some of them are having to sell physical gold to be able to cover the short term bills. Very big difference when you look at the short term and you look at the long term. This is a wonderful correction that is going to lead to a much, much healthier and robust metals market. You just got to live with the dip while it corrects it. There's a really good article on it today. Probably should read it. Probably be a lot of, okay, I'm going to make certain I drag it over there because it's a good one. It was done over Von Greyer's gold on that front. Buy the dip, exactly. You buy the dip, you make them bleed because that's exactly what they're doing. The whales are eating the minnows right now. Be oil, don't be a minnow. I mean, you may not be a very big whale, but you're still eating the minnows. Maria's birthday. My Maria. Who else? Ooh, Rome. Good time. Let's see. Evangeline's Sweet 16. Oh, that's coming Thursday. We'll be ready. We'll be ready for it. You're like me and you've hit the age where your body just feels sluggish and a little off all the time, then listen up. A few months ago, I wasn't feeling great. Called my friend Dr. Josh for some advice. Told him what was going on. He said, what he said kind of shocked me. He said I was showing all the telltale signs of a clogged liver. Now I knew the liver was important for detox, digestion, energy, but I had no idea how easily it can get overloaded. Processed foods, alcohol, even stress, all of it adds up, leaving your liver clogged and your body struggling. And here's what most people don't realize: your liver is the command center for your whole body. It affects your metabolism, your hormones, your skin, your energy, everything. When your liver's backed up, you're backed up. But when it's healthy, you feel clear, light, and alive again. That's why Dr. Josh, who's been a practicing physician for over 25 years, created Ultra Liver. It's a doctor formulated blend with ingredients like NAC, milk thistle, taurine, berberine, and TMG, designed to help your liver cleanse and recharge naturally. Over 500,000 bottles sold and thousands of five-star reviews later, people everywhere are seeing life changing results. I started taking myself. Within a very short time, just a few weeks, I noticed the difference. The fatigue, the bloating, the soggy, slow feelings, all that dissipating and going away. Energy came back, skin looking better, feeling like myself again. Honestly, the best I've felt in years. Now, just give me a little more muscle and I'll be happy. If you're ready to unclog your liver, flush out toxins, and finally feel like your body's running the way it should, you can go to tryultraliver.com/MarkZ. Grab your bottles today. And right now is a good time because Dr. Josh is running a sale up to 50% off, but only through that link, tryultraliver.com/MarkZ, which you can find in the description on YouTube and in Rumble. Do yourself a favor. Take back control of your energy, your health. Be amazed at how good you can feel when your body finally gets the reset it deserves. Can't wait for your wallet to get that reset too. Dark horse currencies. For me, the dark horses are still Vietnam and Venezuela. I don't even know if I call them dark horses. I think I could be wrong, but I think Vietnamese dong is going to be the best bet out there, period. Because you don't have to worry about it. It's got fundamentals. I mean, so does Iraq. Venezuela's are a little funky because of the massive printing and where they're at politically right now. Still looks great. I just question timing. Bear Bruins, try and buy silver at spot. Here in Canada, it's around $140 per ounce. Bear Bruins, I'm glad you added that. That is the reality around the world. Dow up over 800 points, reacts to Trump's comments regarding Iran this morning. You want to talk about some bipolar yo-yo stuff coming out of Iran this morning? We're going to get into it. Definitely going to get into that one this morning. Hello, Robert. What would you do if we RV this weekend, but airport's a mess? Robert, I'm not very worried about that because today started what? Border Patrol, ICE agents going to help with TSA. So I think the lines are about to drop in half within a day or two this week to only be an hour, hour and a half instead of 3-4 hours to get through. Coin shop near me is saying nobody is buying silver, everyone's selling. Might take advantage of it. You got people crazy enough to go out there and sell it at that low price. If you can take advantage of it. Monetize their fear. I mean, they monetize ours all the time. Flying squirrels reporting there are ICE agents in NOLA Airport. Gas 459 in DuPage County, Illinois. Excellent. Was saying not in Canada. The difference because of the low value of our dollar. You get the same in U.S. I see what you're saying. There is a big difference in value. Craig said there is no 5-day pause. It was only regarding attacks on energy plants. But then Iran went and attacked UAE again 2 hours ago. Iran doesn't know what Iran's doing, is the way it looks like from the outside right now. Somebody's cuckoo, so you have to break it down to actions and make it make sense with what you're actually seeing. We'll get into the good word. Beast's birthday, aka Chris. Happy birthday, Chris. Yeah, they've got tents set up out here outside the San Juan airport. It's crazy. Wow, Art said I bought silver eagles at the pawn shop for $77. Arthur, congratulations. I think that's going to pay you well. If history and fundamentals matter, that is going to pay you well. And they do, by the way. Hicktown, I've certainly seen you guys talking about 325 as actual Christmas. But I don't think there's any need to watch the Gregorian, the different calendars. I think that's just a diversion. I don't think that makes a difference in this process. I'd like to see a restoration of a sane, sound calendar, though. That is where we are at. Excellent, gal. You nailed it. Iran army is broken down to 31 independent factions, all doing their own thing. No central power structure right now. I think that is largely true because it explains the absolute differing comments and you're getting from all kinds of different portions of their military and government. Matt Csax is saying, breaking, Trump declares regime change in Iran has already happened. Everything just changed. Is that breaking news? Somebody keep an eye out. Let's see. Belated birthday to Alma from back at the 8th. Oh, happy belated. And you know I love March 8th because that's my mother's birthday too. Okay, guys. We've already been kind of on the news, but we're going to officially be on the news. I do want to give just a quick update. I don't know how Grumpy's daughter is, but the fundraiser is going fairly well. And I just wanted to say thank you to you folks. I'll keep putting it in the daily links. Axios publishing this, and this is just going to kind of set the groundwork for today's news. Axios, Trump's team lays out a plan to start peace talks with Iran. Axios reported that U.S. President Trump's team has begun developing preliminary strategic plan for possible peace talks with Iran 3 weeks after the outbreak of the war. Axios quoted U.S. official and informed sources saying the U.S. administration has begun preliminary discussions about the next phase in the shape of the possible negotiations. Talks with Iranian factions, sources, government. Here's the big question, because we're going to get a lot of back and forth on this story today. And you're going to get that a little later in the morning in the news. It'll all make sense when it comes together. Worldwide caution, security alert. They posted this one yesterday. The Department of State advised Americans worldwide to exercise increased caution, especially in the Middle East. There are reports of a number of fire bombings of ambulances in the UK last night by, upset immigrant populations. I don't need to keep telling you what you're saying. You know what you're saying. Iraq raises U.S. bond holdings to $42 billion. I think this one is absolutely huge because we're starting to get confirmations of what we think is happening. In other words, we're seeing real world results. We hear that Iraq's embracing the U.S. We hear that Sudani is gaining power. We hear all these things. But we needed to see the fruit of those seeds growing on the vine. And here you go. If Iraq were going the opposite direction, if it were going to, go BRICS, abandon the U.S., they would not be buying bond holdings. They would not be buying more. This to me shows me that Iraq is on board with the Trump plan for the Middle East. This is a huge confirmation in my book. Big piece. 174.6 tons. Iraq has the third largest gold reserves in Arab world. I know that right now they are looking to unload some of their foreign currency reserves so they don't have to dip into their gold holdings until this crunch or conflict is over. This does tell you how, okay, we're going to go here on the bonds. We're going to go here on the gold. What are the two things or some of the things that Trump is pushing for stability? He's pushing us gold and our bonds. And then he wants to change our bonds to gold-backed bonds. This, to me, just screams that they are fully on board and part of the plan because they're showing us the assets that Trump has said are going to be key. Also, the same assets that we've been told for over and over QFS is going to find important. Waiting for the features of the events to become clear. The framework makes the choice of the prime minister candidate dependent on the regional situation. We talked about that on Friday. Here we're starting to get these things in writing. So we're getting more and more proof that what we've been talking about is accurate. Now, here's the gold article I want to touch on. There's going to be lots of questions, lots more. Don't worry, guys. We're not done with news yet. I just want the banner out of my way because this all blends together. Where do I start on this one? We've talked about it. If you're new to gold or if you're a speculator in gold or even worse, a leveraged speculator in gold, you're likely asking yourselves, what in the heck double toothpicks is going on? Or double hockey picks. It lost over 9% in futures market in a single session, saw its worst week of price decline since February 1983. What gives? Gold loves chaos. Isn't the current war, whatever you think of it, pure chaos? That's where they're going to get into some of the same things that I'm saying. A couple of countries selling off big, paper selling off big. Meanwhile, Tether, central banks are scooping up at a fire sale rate. They're scooping up this physical gold. We're seeing a collapse of the paper metals market. At the same time, we do see some more physical going into circulation because some countries in the Middle East being forced to liquidate some holdings so that they can eat. It's a liquidity issue. It is not a hack on the fundamental outlook on the metals. This is a short-term, understandable, easily understood, trackable event. Physical gold, it's accumulating, not falling. This is the point. Meaning the central banks and the big boys are scooping it up at fire sale rates right now as all the minnows run away. But there was an important piece in here that I wanted to touch on. They're talking about eating the minnows. That's why I tell you guys, be the whale, don't be the minnow. Got to play the long game. And you are playing the long game. This is the short game. If you closed or sold today, you're playing the short game. Don't play the short game because the long game wins. But there was a good piece in here about the poly markets coming on this thing, about it being done soon. Actually, it may be in another article, but they all blend today because they're all touching on the same fundamentals, and we're getting them from many different places. Paper price smash before critical minerals price floor clauses COMEX force majeure at the low paper. Speaking of which, a number of countries, including Iraq, have stated force majeure on negotiating contracts, etc., throughout the Middle East. Going to be lots of blips in the markets. Who will be buying? Wait, where'd it go? Silver following gold? Yeah, it's following gold right now. Who will be buying the silver gold paper? That's just it. Not enough people are buying it. When I say they're unloading it, that's why the paper price is down to like 68, but the physical is still considerably higher. You have a lot of people basically bailing. How do I describe that? They're buying paper to cover the paper that they have to deliver. This is a really twisted one. I'm probably going to have to get Andy to explain it because I think I'm just going to confuse people. I need to put it on paper myself to explain it in a better way. If you pay cash for those contracts, you get out of having to supply the physical gold. So that's largely what is happening right now. They are cashing out by buying them at a discounted price, and then it's gone. Paper silver doesn't exist anymore. They're buying out their leverage. Boy, I know. I'm just going to make it more confused. I'm going to get Andy to do a better job on that one. Iran threatens to destroy region-wide infrastructure as Trump's 48-hour ultimatum ticks down mass casualties in southern Israel. This is just kind of a tit-for-tat update on what we are seeing. Some of the destruction of infrastructure. Iran saying, or should I say one of the many factions, Iranian factions saying that they're going to start charging $2 million transit fee, except for enemy countries. And then I guess you don't get to come at all. So you have parts of the IRGC claiming they're just going to, and this is a faction thing, we're going to start charging $2 million. Of course, we're not going to get into the fact checks going on this one. Tehran has 4 ships crossing the Strait of Hormuz to pay $2 million fee, says Boris Yurdi of Parliament's National Security Committee. We have established a new regime governing the Strait after 47 years, he said, smirking. We have to fund the war, the presenter smirks. Now, as we're watching this, the fire, the trading, the blows, the back and forth. There's a fun piece in here, and it's in the poly markets. Do we have a good piece in here? We got them coming up somewhere here on the poly markets. Somebody just in the poly markets created a number of wallets, all similar amounts, trying to stay under the limits. They dumped about 160 grand into a bet that this conflict will be settled within the month of March. It is the 23rd of March. These are the same type trades from the same mysterious or very similar as what we saw before a number of the strikes, peace, the beginning of this conflict seemed to be that somebody was in the know and knew when the first strikes were going to happen. Even going back to February, actually before February, I'm trying to think of the last Israeli strikes on Iran that the U.S. partook in. Seems somebody with an extreme level of know is betting, because they're going to make like $800,000, is betting on this conflict over in the next 7 or 8 days. I think they already know the outcome. All right, Pierre, go get Elsa. Good to see you in the house. We also do, though, we've got a number of NATO nations now seem to be willing to come to aid in the Strait of Hormuz. The problem is they're just now in the beginnings of making a plan to come to aid in the Straits of Hormuz. That is some of the things being reported this morning. Now, where do I go with all of this part? Oil plunges, stock spike as Trump postpones military strikes on Iran after productive talks. But the move reverses after Tehran denies the contact. Here's what we're starting to get it crazy. Iran's Tasnim, to news source, there have been no talks. There are no talks. Same outlet saying Trump's comments are just psychological warfare because it's not happening. They're citing a senior security official that has told them there are no talks happening. And they're saying they will continue to respond and defend the country. And this is where we're going to go back to that whole 31, a number of different factions actually speaking for Iran. It appears that leadership is very, very splintered. This is what makes them resistant to efforts like this, but it's also a weak point. Because when you break down that command structure, they've got like a bunch of little hydras, bunch of little heads. They don't have like somebody overall right now, it appears, because we're getting one faction that is having talks, another faction that's not. We're getting news that's all over. So either the entire Western world is lying, A number of other countries have said yes because they're helping facilitate those talks with Iranian sources, government. So, which is it? Do we believe a handful of regional Iranian military leaders? Do we believe some of the Iranian government? Do we believe the other countries that are part of these talks or facilitating them? Who do we believe here? I think it's a very clear indicator that talks are happening, but not with all factions, meaning that it is so splintered there that this is what it looks like. That is the most logical explanation. Bond news. Where do I go on that one, Marty? Because I'm afraid I'm just going to create far more expectation than is reasonable. And I don't know if it's going to be true or accurate. So you guys are just going to have to take this one with an entire trainload of salt. But my bond contacts, a number of them, I think I'm up to about 4 right now, are saying Wednesday is their day. They get paid, and that triggers the currencies. But I don't know if that's accurate, guys. I just want to be very, very clear on that. I really didn't want to share that bond news because it's going to create such tremendous expectations. But that's what they're all saying as of this morning. But they're not giving price, so they seem to think that doesn't affect any kind of NDA. I would not read too much into it right now because it is a tremendous fog of war, and that is an over the weekend without a Monday update yet. We got an update. Grumpy, neck surgery is when she is stable, placing a plate on her pelvis and then fusing her spine. Sorry, I'm just getting to another update. I've been exhausted as this has taken a lot. I bet it's taken a lot out of Grumpy and family. Guys, keep the family in prayers. And if you can afford to or feel so inclined, that is the GoFundMe. I will drop the link in chat on all the different platforms. Now, do you see why I didn't want to touch the bond news? But if I don't touch it, somebody else is, and then they're not going to give you any kind of context to go with it. Let's see. Many Iranian Muslims, especially leadership, have died and passed on to go meet their 42 virgins, but they may have met 42 demons instead. Highly possible. Yeah, what do you guys want to talk about today? Do you want to be really controversial? Sluggo said we've been given misinformation and timing on purpose to keep the black hats confused with. Yeah, no, we knew that was coming. Let's see. Thank you for your financial and spiritual support. Our daughter has had 3 surgeries, but is unstable enough for the 4th yet. Okay, so I was reading them out of order. Reports are that Trump's team is speaking with Iran's Parliament Speaker Ghalibaf. That would make sense. I have not seen that. I cannot confirm that, but based on the back and forth, that would make a lot of sense. So he's speaking with the government side of it, not the military side of it. And there seems to be a heck of a split when it comes to Iran being ruled by the IRGC. Yeah, Mueller died. Now he can't testify. That was a little not in great taste on Trump's part. Glad he's dead kind of thing comment. I thought that was pretty bad form after all the back and forth on Charlie. I mean, it was understandable if they're going to play that game, then tit for tat. Same time, I would have liked to seen him take a moral high road on that one. Oh, wow. That I would consider UCAN a reliable source. I have never heard anything bogus coming out of Amir's mouth. How do we know that it's not just the deep state not making up what it is saying that Iran is saying? Susie Q, good question. How do you know it's not the deep state in Iran saying it? How do you know it's not the deep state? That's part of the fog of war. You don't. So you have to keep an open mind and be prepared to have picked wrong. Yeah, Patricia Lee, if you don't get off the roller coaster, you're going to lose your mind. Oh, no, Susie Q. No, 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 no. It did not come out wrong. No, no, no. That was maybe a little harsh, but no, we totally, I understood where you were going with that one. And I wanted to use that as a opportunity to point out that right now, the news is cuckoo. So all over the place. Kirby, good morning. Believe we are very close to mission complete. There have been a lot of clandestine operations. I'll agree with that one. And you have the background to know that there have been clandestine operations because you can see all the hallmarks of the intelligence operations. Secret Identity says, my gut says Mueller was McCained. It's possible. Original, it's all about the misdirection. Bryce says Wednesday sounds about right if we went after the IRGC over the weekend. I think there have been a lot of developments over the weekend, and we're going to see a lot of news filtering out today and tomorrow. The art of confusion, right, J-Bar? Big time. Jabril, good to see you in the house. Darlene, Mueller's probably not really dead. He's allegedly was a white hat. Boy, I haven't seen anything make me feel good about that one. I very much believe Mueller ruined people and played for the deep state. That's my opinion. Allowed to have one. I don't wish anybody dead. I wish everybody held responsible, though. Fred's take is, I would not hesitate to say that I'm glad the devil is dead. So I think Trump, all this time, knowing what he knows, knowing the amount of evil these people have done, I don't think you can waste any respect on people like Mueller, Obama, etc. Plus, for Trump to say that, it tells me how close we are. He's got to be pretty brave to have gone there. He must have a very, very opinionated view of it. He could be absolutely right. Yeah, that's still, to me, Chuck Norris dying is the bigger story. MG, my 260K student loan got paid off. That is great news for you guys. Remember, it was all BS money. Sucks for the folks that paid their loans off. Really sucks for them. Robert, when will we see people held responsible? Robert, that's an interesting one because James O'Keefe broached that in the wee hours, late last night, early this morning. I forget which. And all the backlash that O'Keefe, Nick Shirley, these folks, all the backlash that they are getting. But at the same time, they are uncovering tremendous amounts of fraud, which has led to dozens, probably hundreds of indictments, court cases actively underway. Now, this is very unusual, and this is just one of the segments. Or so somebody complaining we haven't seen arrests, and James O'Keefe is, but we're seeing so much going on. And his point was, between him, Nick, and so many others that are on board on this, they are going to keep dropping videos, proofs, document dumps, etc., daily until the arrests, not the arrest, yeah, till the arrest or to the putting them in jail happen. It's not enough to start the court cases, the investigations, indictments, things like that. They want to see them actually serving time, court cases done. They say they're going to keep dropping tenaciously day after day after day until it occurs, that there is no longer. In other words, you got a lot of good people out there that are saying, I don't trust the plan. And I'm with them. I don't trust the plan. I think we have to keep pressure on. Plan might be great, but I think if we don't keep pressure on, the plan may fall apart. So it's our job to keep the pressure on. And that is exactly what they are doing. You may find O'Keefe to be a pompous ass. He might rub you the wrong way, but he's doing very good work on that front. Love the people, hate the sin. Yeah, MarkZ, it proves it doesn't matter how healthy and in shape you are. When it's your time, it's your time. Imagine, I would imagine Death probably got his butt kicked by Chuck on the way up to the pearly gates just for fun. See, Cam Higby is also finding fraud, homeless being giving cigarettes or $5 sign absentee ballots. That's another great example. And it is leading to active court cases. So we're getting there. Yep. Sometimes people just die. Chuck Norris, sometimes, guys, it is just that. It is just biology and father time taking its toll. Wait, what's going on about watering? Is there like a water shortage going on in Texas? CKF, I cried. Mr. Norris was an important part of my son's identity development as he grew up. And he's a good role model. Chuck Norris was a good role model. Mm, sorry, guys. Just hit the mic. Cap Viola, when will corporate CEOs who force their employees to get the vax be punished? Who do you punish? Do you blame them? Do you blame the companies? Do you blame the political pressure? Who do you guys blame? Somebody needs to be held responsible. What they were finding out, which is their number studies. Now, what's going to be proven? What's going to be disproven? Read studies, see what they say, figure out their structure of those studies to see if you can count on them, etc. But there are a lot of studies lately showing just how absolutely devastating for the health of the world, with roughly 50% of the population went there with an experimental. They found, I was reading one article saying that 100% cases of myocarditis could be attributed in that year. In other words, that sudden spike in myocarditis that we went through for a year, 2 years. Was reading a report and they found like 100% of the study participants that developed it, they had that one thing in common. 100%. That's crazy. I mean, what's real or not? What's that fallout over the years? It was absolutely a war, crime against humanity. Yeah, what is up with the noisy meteors lately? Some lot of money. What was that? Like a 3 meter or something? I forget how big the one that just broke up going across Texas and all that, leaving pieces, houses, yards. There's really good money. I mean, like stunning amounts of value. If you're out there with your metal detectors, go find your meteor fragments. Uh, Alex, you have to go back and listen. Yes, we already talked about it. No, I'm not doing it again, Alex. Much as I love you, brother. Let's see. Yes, water shortage in Corpus Christi now. They're trying to steal our water. There's no winning this conversation. Do you think all the radical Islams across the country will be cleaned out once we RV? Certainly hope so. North Carolina's going to full speed in their favor. It's incompatible with Western civilization. It just is. I know that may sound racist, Islamophobic, whatever. I don't care. It's still true. You can't make peace with somebody that thinks you should be dead and that they can lie to you, cheat from you, steal from you, rape your children, your wife, your whatever, that you're just that low. There is no, I'm sorry, you don't come to some kind of understanding with somebody that thinks women need permission to be able to go to the store, that they need to keep their face covered, or not even many of them that they shouldn't even go to school. I mean, I can't find a way to make that compatible. And unless they want to come to the US and embrace our existing culture, then period, you're not welcome. Because I'm not welcome with my culture in your land. I just don't see how it's compatible. I would like for it to be, but it is not. Let's see. Pirate attacks in Mexico. Ooh, on one of the YouTubers I follow, they survived. So one of your sailing videos you like? I mean, how do you have those tough discussions? And buenos dias, Ladis. Ooh, we had one loud thunder boom, and 1 minute later, while in bed with eyes shut inside my eyes lit up red, my son was driving and looking at it. The next day, his eyes were hurting. I bet they were. See, Gina, my husband witnessed an immigrant couple receive 23K at a credit union, counted out right at the teller counter. If you and I did that, Gina, they would be knocking on our doors, scooping us up. Financial crimes, illicit money, they would claim anything to take that money, to confiscate it, and then dare us to go through the process to get it back. Yeah, civil forfeiture is theft. It is robbing. Spirits Pen's birthday. Happy birthday, Spirits Pen. This is the question. Why did Trump really start with this? Speaking to Iran. If my sources in DC are accurate, guys, Trump did it for a very valid reason, and one that most people in the world and most people in this room are not going to like, but valid nonetheless. My intel people from the political side and the military side say that Israel told Trump exactly what day they were attacking, and they were attacking with or without the US. Didn't matter. They were attacking, and the fallout, if Trump had not jumped on board to minimize the missile capacity, drone capacity, and all of that of Iran, would have meant that the response from Iran to Israel bombing without the US would have been very devastating to the region and many US interests. So it was basically screwing us, but if we didn't jump on board, we would be screwed even harder. That is the overwhelmingly common response out of all of those sources, that short of coming out ahead of the time and completely turning backs on Israel and outing to the world their plan, and it still would have had tremendous backlash, pretty much crashing political structures around the world and lots of Americans dead in the region, because Iran wasn't going to believe it. They were just going to strike out with very little consequence. So the decision was made to jump on board in hopes that it would minimize the backlash to the world. Take it for what it's worth. I don't know what's true and what's not right now. Mir, I wanted to stop bringing a few folks in Hawaii so you can get a little break as they are continue to move people. They got one of the old dams from Dole that seems to be collapsing, military being evacuated from base. Bowler, I'm going to try to find where you've been posting those, because I saw a part 2, but I didn't see the part 1. See if I can find your part 1. Don't think I can go back far enough to see it. Sin Pony, I took out 30K at the bank. They tried to figure out what was for it and answer. Boy, they shake you down. Cancel your bank account. I took some out to buy a car, 17 grand at one point, and I ended up getting debanked from that bank for it. And even told them what was going. Even had the person from the dealership there. It was like, here, hand it, sign it, boom, they take it. Of course, any excuse for a bank to debank a conservative podcaster is a go. Oh, well. All right. I couldn't find those. Ah, there's part one. I believe you have some control of your lifespan. Wrong decisions cut your life shorter, polluting your body versus taking care of your body can, as a general rule, affect the longevity of your life. Wasn't expecting to live to the age of 30 based on my alcoholism addiction. You beat that. I was delivered from my drunkenness at the age of 22 by King Jesus instantaneously. Therefore, my physical life has been hugely extended. Well, yeah, absolutely. Genetics are important, but lifestyle is even more important. Mr. Coon, good to see you. You recently reported that there may be an announcement about. I reported that that is what Sky was saying. But she has since come out and said she doesn't think she's getting that announcement, that a lot of people seem to be holding things back and are full of it. So chase after her for that one. Or at least that's the only advice I have to you right now. Because getting anything reliable on med beds is almost impossible. Sin Pony, I really have thought about going to Old Glory Bank with John Rich. I really have thought about it. Yeah, when you take out 30K from the bank, just tell them it's for gambling and hookers, right? Gambling, hookers, and cocaine. Ooh, I don't ever want to do that stuff. I'm afraid I might like it. Terrified of it. Seen it ruin too many friends and people around me and other people's lives. Are there new treasury notes at the banks? Someone called their bank this week. Cat John, we've had a number of bankers say yes, but that has been going on for years. So I don't know if calling your bank's going to help any at all. It's worth a try. Just don't be upset if it's fruitless, because at some point we're all going to be surprised and it's going to be very fruitful. Vicky, I don't know what to tell you on a value for Yellow Dragon. I wish I did. I've heard so many just all over the places numbers that I don't know what to. $1 million, $1 billion. I mean, when I say all over the place, that'd be like me telling you it's going to be somewhere between a penny and a dollar. I mean, that's such a, I, it's crazy. I can't pick one. Totally contented. I've been trying for over 2 months to transfer money out of my bank. The fight is brutal. Totally contented. I get more and more worried about it. We hear the rhetoric. We keep hearing we're going to win. I don't know what to tell you on the Pango. I can't find a banker that will comment on it. Texas artist. I have a little Pango, so I hope it's good. I don't hold out much hope for it because I can't find a banker to comment on it. Where was I at before I just distracted myself nearly completely? Because boy, did I. See, SCOTUS rule: when you make a deposit in a bank, it's a loan to the bank, so they own it with no guarantees. I remember where I was at on that. Let me make myself. See, when I was working at the elementary school in the early 2000s, a friend's daughter taught in the Raleigh Durham area. The Muslim then were doing away with Christian holidays and no kid parties. Hey, look, they think it's fine to kill your dog. That's all that matters. Leave Fido alone. B. Durham, what's a yellow dragon? It's a bond, kind of like the agros or the different bond currencies that we've talked about in the past. It's a Chinese bond. Now, I do remember that too, Tim. I'll be gone for a while, but we win. What's that? Does that mean he goes into hiding for a little while? What's a skinny on the school? I need to see if Lewis is up for coming on and doing a deep dive on the school bond thing because it is a really big issue in California. And guys, I can only cover so much, still function, still work. So a lot of these things I'm familiar with them, but not enough to really do a solid segment on them. So I've got to bring in people to do some of them. Yeah, is he going to be hanging in his bunker? I hope this is right. Nico said mayhem with Mel from Australia said a few days ago that the Hungarian Pengo will be paid out in installments due to its high value. Boy, I hope that's accurate. Jason the Troll saying the school bond issue is very big here in Michigan or there in Michigan. 7 friends with the vax got cancer. It does seem to be an extremely higher percentage than those that didn't. I know some that have lost the battle or are now fighting the battle that did not get the jab. I do know a handful, but I know an obscene number that did and are fighting that fight. Pray the Zim gives us what all is saying. Big bucks. I don't know what to tell you, Judy. I'm praying the same thing. I keep being told somewhere between 11 and 33 million per 100 T note. I could live with either one of those really well. Daniel saying my credit union knows nothing about new bills. I would imagine the smaller credit unions will be some of the very last banking style institutions to get notice because of security. Jamie, 100% seem to notice more memory issues with vaccinated people. And if you've ever studied mad cow disease, it makes sense. Prion disease, it causes things like that. Memory, dementia. And if you're around other vaccinated people, I mean, they are showing that shedding is real. There's quite a bit of research at this point to at least make you think and question. So, how controversial do you guys want to get today? See if I can pull you out a real humdinger that'll upset a few folks. Oh, there was that poly market one I was talking about. The reports overnight that Trump's administration was preparing a diplomatic off-ramp plan, but Iran says the expanding war has effectively shut that door. That's part of that mixed match, depending on who you're talking to from Iran. Betting website Polymarket shows that 10 new wallets are betting 160 grand on U.S.-Iran ceasefire by the end of March. Almost no history, all created around the same time. Potential payout over 1 million. The Polymarket history account wrote on X. 10 fresh new wallets. Looking for that sudden settlement in the coming week. Frank, I bet you have been anti since you got out of the military because they use you guys like pin cushions. You guys are like lab rats. See, I work in helping seniors with safe money retirement options. 19 died after getting the jabs. Probably just a coincidence. Yeah, Hunter guy, probably just an absolute coincidence. Pad said, I feel my fiance's memory issues are due to it. Food for thought. 33rd degree Masons are referred to in the Masonic community as white hats. I don't know if it is curious. May have absolutely no correlation, but it is curious. My best guess on all the rates. Well, one, I'm going to be dropping off a few of them because I have no idea what to say on them. So I'm not going to give you a guess on Venezuela or Pango. My best guesses on dinar, $4 to $6. My best guesses on dong, $2 to $3. I've already told you my Zim guess. Indonesian rupiah, I've been told for like 8, 9, 10, 12 years, $1.47 US over and over and over to the point where I don't even question it anymore. I think that's what it's going to be. Oh, Evie saying school bond issues big in Texas too. A guy won't say his name in Texas has taken the fraud going on to the Texas Supreme Court. Nice. Fight it. Fight it. I see a lot of military people between the different platforms sounding off on being guinea pigs. You guys agree? Wally, half my friends that got it are sick guys, and that's really tough for those in here, those in life, period, that took it. And that, I mean, because I mean, you got to feel like you're walking out with a time bomb, but that's true about life in general. The good news is there's a lot you can do to mitigate that effect. So I would like stop whining over it, crying over it, and start being proactive with your health. It's my personal advice, which is probably pretty much useless to most, but hey, give it a shot. 330,000 per billion. I'm still hearing that, JT. Yes. Zester's new podcast times at noon. I'll finish early today, though. Way earlier than I have been on Mondays. I'll fix that next week and go longer. Yeah, I'm with you. Give me the RV and we'll see how much those yellow dragons are. See, Patsy said my good friend Dr. Charles O died from mad cow disease. Ooh. V Reed, mom got stage 4 rare cancer after getting the jab. That's got to be tough, V Reed. Gene said, listen to you 5 years. Your estimates have not changed. They really haven't because my banking, my better contacts, their estimates haven't changed. They've been very consistent for years. Four girls and daughters, circle of all had miscarriages in the last 3 months. 3 were not. Birthing issues do seem to be spiking at a crazy level. There's a lot going on in the world that does make you scratch your head. To have so many things happening all at the same time. Fertility issues seem to be becoming a worldwide thing. I mean, and have really ramped up from many articles that I have read in the last 4 years. I wonder what happened. So we're seeing that. Had a conversation with some friends, a retired couple from Chicago that live both here and there. Originally from here, probably going to just finish moving back full time. But so I was talking with hearing a conversation, and they were talking about, which is crazy because they're very much on the liberal side, but they were very concerned about the world. I guess they read an article about Palantir and how it can tell everything about you when they pull you over, your bank account, whether you've been to the ATM 30 minutes ago, things that absolutely not okay. I mean, violating every bit of your privacy, crapping upon your First Amendment. And this is standard. And I was like, yeah, just drive around now. You see all the cameras at all the stoplights. These aren't to give you tickets. In states that don't even have red light enforced or camera enforced red lights, you still got all these cameras everywhere. What do? Palantir attaches to them. They can watch you, track you. They can tell you what streets you drove. I mean, we all carry around a tracking device called a cell phone. But at the same time, we're getting all of this rhetoric about freedom, about deep banking, about white hats. That's not what we're seeing in the real world. We're seeing more and more control put into place. And frankly, I find it disturbing. I don't want to, that's why I no longer trust the plan. I want us to keep pushing too. Chad, so sorry for your loss. Lydia, be 5 years since I lost my dad. Well, the doctor called a massive stroke. Happened 2 weeks after. Oh, Tom, no bueno. Daughter's an RN in Des Moines Hospital. Warden said that stillbirths are way up. I'm reading a few of these. I know I need to get back at it. See what you guys are talking about. Wait, 2CTV says attack in London. Mr. Ep4, I wonder if they're referring to what I had been told, that there were at least 4 fire bombings on ambulances. That's another news source that I consider pretty top notch. 2CTV. Joyful voice. Big Brother has it all. I agree. It scares the crap out of me. Brenda says, as a retired RN, I've lost all, and I mean all, confidence in the medical professionals after what I saw during COVID. I have friends that are having issues getting to. I can't tell you how many doctors I know that agree with you now. Let's see. Tim, any chance you're coming to Vegas with Dr. Scott and Louis Herms? Never got an invite. When is it? I don't get invited to many events like that anymore. I guess I'm too controversial. And a lot of it is they know of my travel limitations. M Statin, no, I'm told very different values between the Zimbon and the agros. Being told very different values. Asmongold, I don't know. I've never worked with them. From what I have read, everything seems to be a pretty solid RV flyer. The one I trust the absolute most is still Andy Scheckman at Miles Franklin. Got a few others that I do trust, and I think depending on what you're getting, how much you're getting, they're probably viable options, but still, Andy's still my favorite. Let's see, I have Zim, but no projects. Beverly, I've been told over and over and over, yes, you won't get any additional money for your projects, but you still get paid personal money. That part is not in any way dependent upon projects. Oh, whoops, slow it down. Tom said my brother-in-law lost his hearing after one jab and was told by the third specialist he saw him that it was the jab that had caused it. Wow, I'd never heard of that side effect. I've heard of some crazy ones though. Yes, logo, because you always decline the invite. That could be a lot of it. It could definitely be a lot of it. We just have to start doing events here in Puerto Rico, so travel's easier on my body because traveling is very tough on me physically. See, Deborah, one of my friends was an RN during COVID and was fired because she refused to give the jab to young kids because she knew kids weren't supposed to be. Her medical office got $50 per jab. Good money. Think about that. I mean, just printing cash. Problem is, you're just selling your soul. At my husband's work, they paid $100 for employees to take it. Now, several of the guys have cancer, heart issues. Reading some of those, excellent. Reading some of those. Some of them I shouldn't say out loud. There are a lot of great cancer treatments out there. Five-day pause. I wonder if that's going to hold or stick or not. Ralph, Lewis has an open invite on Tuesdays. Whether or not he can always make them is the other question. He's getting really pressed on timing. So it is becoming, when Lewis has got something and some free time, he shoots me a text. I send him a link. Try to have him on as often as I can. Was LaGuardia Airport crash an accident? No, well, yes. It appears, and if you follow the air traffic controls, everything else, an air traffic controller simply gave the wrong direction for runway traffic. And because the system relies on humans and humans aren't perfect, we have some dead people and some injured people. But it is a big, what's the word, example as to why this massive upgrade of air traffic control systems, tracking, planes, etc., that the Trump administration has undertaken, for a air traffic control system that is decades and decades and decades behind in technology, how necessary it is. It's amazing that there have not been far more accidents. Jojo, my father-in-law had 4 and passed away from myocarditis. So many of you guys tell similar stories. It's heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. What days am I in now? Monday through Friday from usually 10 until about noon for about 2 hours every day. And then Wednesday evenings for Whiskey and Wisdom and a short news update. Yeah, it does look like a bomb went off in front of the plane. The LaGuardia pictures. It's just like, how did that happen? Huck Finn, a lot of folks were forced to make those very tough decisions. I'm very mad at the number of college kids that were putting that their entire everything they'd worked on for their short 18-year-old lives were put on hold unless they got it. Otherwise, they weren't even allowed to go off to college. No, Huck Finn, there's a lot of damning evidence for our government and our leaders. Skylar, so sorry to hear about your dog, or Swaxy, so sorry to hear about Skylar not making it. Polly Collie, I would just ignore that because we don't know where we're at med beds. We don't know how soon we're going to get med beds. I've been told from day one that med beds would be at least 6 to 9 months after RV. So, but Polly Collie put in Mark yesterday. Someone said if you have Zim but no project, you don't get to use the med beds first. People with projects go before those who don't have. I would call bullshit on it. Personally, I don't know the truth, but I would not put any faith in the statement. Let's see. My husband was fired for not taking it on your birthday. It's just sad, isn't it? All right, folks, let's call it a wrap. Let's sing some happy birthdays for Maria, Chris, Spirits, Ben, anybody else. So they tell me it's your birthday. Well, happy birthday, darling. May you live, may you love, may all your dreams come true. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. To all those celebrating, Blessed Forever said Orlando, Florida will have flying taxis very soon. You need those just to go from one terminal of that stinking airport to the other one. It's a cuckoo. I saw that one. Some of these. Treebeard. RV's taken so much longer than anticipated. RV medbeds could have caught up. I doubt it because of the way the funding works for them. At least that's what I've always been told. I hope they come out right away. I hope they're everything they cracked up to be. I'm reading a few of these. I know we're wrapped up. You guys can leave if you want. I'm just enjoying some of you guys' comments right now. Prayers for you, R700 from the ICU in southern Montana or Missouri, Montana, I think. Where's the clock? It's sitting there. I don't have anybody to hang it. It'll go up at some day. Anybody that sends me anything, you have to understand I have serious physical limitations. And chairs only go so close when there's couches in the way. I'm just reading some of these. All right, I'm getting out of here. I am excited about the fishing pole though. Zester has started to do a lot more fishing, and he's like scouting more fishing holes in areas that are easy for me to get to. So I'm really, really excited about getting to put more hooks in the water. It's relaxing. All right, guys, I'm out of here. See you tomorrow morning with, let's see, Dr. J. Bye, guys.